Hi, and welcome to the writer's commentary for the Batman Beyond portion of DC Comics' Batman Beyond Unlimited #2, which has been online and in stores for a while now. If you haven't read the issue yet, you might want to stop here and read it before proceeding so nothing's spoiled for you. Elsewhere on this YouTube channel, you'll find the commentary for our first issue and another explaining what it is we do here. I'm Adam Beechin, and I wrote this issue. Norm Breyfogle penciled and inked it. Andrew Elder colored it. Saida Temofonte lettered it. Sarah Gatos is our assistant editor. Jim Chadwick is our editor. And Dustin Nguyen provided our cover as always. Some of you were at WonderCon in Anaheim a couple of weekends ago and stopped by to say hi and tell us how much you're enjoying the book, which we sincerely appreciate. Many of you have been sending questions to batmanbeyondcommentary@gmail.com, and I've been communicating with you there, and that's been a lot of fun. We'll put that address up on the screen once again before we finish up. Okay, let's get to issue #2, also known as Digital Chapters 3 and 4, page by page. On page 1, you'll notice a band of Jokerz from London. This is in keeping with the storyline we've been building for a while now, with Jokerz from all over streaming into Gotham. We wanted to emphasize here that from all over doesn't just mean the US. This gathering is a big deal. He's back. You love him. I love him. How can you not love him? This is page 2, and that's Mad Stan. If you're a Mad Stan fan, you have the editor of our previous monthly series, Chris Conroy, to thank. When he came on board, almost the first thing Chris did was scold me for apparently killing off Stan back in the Hush Beyond miniseries. It seems Chris is a Stan nut and has loved him since the animated series. And on that series, Stan was treated as a relatively minor villain, but he developed quite a following. I went back to the miniseries where Hush implied he'd killed Stan and realized that not only did we not see the body, we were just taking the word of a warped psycho clone that he'd offed our favorite anarchist. We didn't have any reason, really, to believe him. I mean, Hush was a bad guy, and bad guys do things like lie, right? So Stan's question on this page might as well be to the readers. Why did we think he was dead? Because we believed questionable information. Centering a story around Mad Stan automatically makes that story a little lighter, because Stan's so kooky, but he's still a dangerous guy, especially when he has a lot of explosives at hand, which he now does. And here on page 5, he's got his hands on the universal trigger device that first showed up in issue 8 of the monthly series. So now Stan can arm anything explosive and set it off remotely. On page 9, Bruce articulates something I think is long overdue, and then he explains, plausibly I think, why it took him so long. Here he's created all this amazing technology over the years for fighting crime, and he's never shared it with law enforcement authorities. Can you imagine if every cop had a Batmobile, or lightweight field armor like Batman wears, or had Batman's gadgets? In the hands of a responsible police force, crime would plummet. Of course, Gotham's police hasn't always been responsible, as Bruce points out, but he's had the power to make them more effective all along, and he's never done it. Think about how many good cops over the years have lost their lives because they didn't have access to the kind of technology that could really help them. Well, now he's sharing that technology, but only to a degree. On page 10, Bruce introduces his newest colleagues in a fantastic splash by Norm. It's got some Dave Gibbons kind of feel to it, I think. And I imagine at least one of these colleagues caught readers by surprise. Tim Drake, as all of you who watched the incredible Return of the Joker animated movie years ago know, quit crime fighting and Bruce Wayne years ago for very good reasons, and probably wouldn't have a lot of reasons on his own to return. But Bruce made him an offer along with some promises he couldn't refuse. Still, it's clear from the way Norm has drawn Tim, he's pretty conflicted about saying yes. By adding Lucius and Tim, we're broadening our supporting cast, which gives us more opportunities for stories down the road. On page 14, here's an example of how Norm and I collaborate. The original script that I wrote called for Batman's POV of the dock battle, magnified through the use of his high-tech lenses. Norm drew it exactly as it was written, even framing it in the shape of Batman's eyes, which is great. But we agreed after we saw it that it didn't feel high-tech enough, so Norm went back in and added all the cool little graphics for that futuristic feel that you see around the images. On page 15, I admitted I'd probably like to have this one back. Batman does look a little silly, accepting Boris's explanation for why he's down on the docks with a lot of firepower. But I figure Batman is more worried about Stan at this point anyway, right? Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Also, the line on the page about Stan, getting Stan to register to vote is my favorite in the whole issue. Page 20, Stan finally utters his famous catchphrase, hopefully giving Stan fans another thing they've been craving. Stan's bad enough under normal circumstances, but with Boom Boom gone, we've never seen him this mad before, so Batman should have his hands full in the next chapters, which will be online soon. In the meantime, we leave you with the cover of what will be the third printed issue of Batman Beyond Unlimited. We hope you're also checking out what Dustin and Derek Fridolfs are doing with Justice League Beyond, and that you'll give Superman Beyond by J.T. Krull and Howard Porter a try when it debuts. Here's a glimpse of what it'll look like. The Beyondiverse is only getting bigger and better. Till next time, thanks for all your support. Happy Passover, happy Easter, and we'll see you next time.